Sandbox MMA fans, I'm going to talk to you today about why Sean O Malley is going to have another highlight reel knockout this weekend over Merab Dvalishvili or Dvalishvili, however he wants to pronounce it. I know it's Dvalishvili. I just like pulling an Uncle Chael with not being able to pronounce the names. I truly do believe that Sean O Malley is going to knock Merab out cold. Now, I don't want to disrespect Merab in this video. He's gotten to where he is, and it's been tremendous for him to be able to do so, but that is going to lead into me saying that I think overall, in terms of talent and skill, I don't think he brings anything to the table that's crazy other than his cardio. Granted, he can get takedowns, but his takedowns are very, very cardio-based, and we're going to get to why that's going to be a little bit of an issue later on in this video. If you know what I'm talking about, drop a comment early. But Merab's takedowns, like, they get done, but it's because he shoots 50 of them and his opponents get tired. Now, I know he picked Cejudo and ran him over, but he just kept shooting takedowns and kept shooting takedowns, and that's where his success ends up coming in. He had success over guys like Petr Yan, who can't use a reach advantage because he doesn't really have a reach and size advantage over Merab. Did it to a guy like Cejudo, who, again, similar size to Merab. They're all the same weight, but when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about reach and frame. They're all similar size guys to Merab. No, Merab's not really, like, smaller than any of these dudes. When he goes in there against Sean O Malley, he's a tall, lanky striker that uses his range very, very well, and I think his feints are going to be a huge part in this fight. Now, the reason I say that, I'm not one of those guys to say, oh, you're going to get everyone biting on the feints. Like when people talk about Izzy using his feints, they talk about it like it's the greatest part of his game. It's like Izzy uses feints, yeah, but he really feints, and then it just sets up a double jab and a low kick, and then a double jab with a two over the top. Like, he's not setting up fight-ending techniques where Sean O Malley is. Sean O Malley's going to be feinting a lot of different strikes, and I think it's going to keep Merab guessing, and he's going to bite on everything. And if he doesn't bite on everything, Sean O Malley's going to pick up on that, and instead of feinting some of these shots, he's actually going to throw them, and he's going to land on Merab Dvalishvili. Now, Merab is very catchable. We saw that in this fight with Marlon Moraes. We saw that in this fight with Henry Cejudo. We've seen that in a lot of different fights, like with Ricky Simone. Like, we've seen a lot of different fights where Merab is very hittable, and Sean O Malley is the best sniper in the UFC. He's the best striker in the UFC. He finds the shot that he wants to find. People found Aljo to be pretty difficult to hit. O'Malley pieced his ass up and knocked him out in round two. I think with the level of skill and talent that O'Malley brings in the striking, it's a different kind of game for Merab to go against. He hasn't faced someone that has that kind of length and reach, and I was always saying that Sandhagen was going to be a problem for Merab because of that. I think O'Malley the same thing, and I actually think O'Malley's counter-grappling is very, very good. O'Malley's going to be in camp training, grappling defense specifically, because he knows if Merab goes out there and strikes, there's no chance. He knows that if it does get to the ground, all he's got to do is work on getting back to his feet or just defend a little bit, because Merab doesn't really have jiu-jitsu. Not strong jiu-jitsu, at least. He doesn't get submission victories. He's not transitioning, taking O'Malley's back. He's not going to throw in some kind of arm bar. He's not going to, get a choke in off his back. He just doesn't have that in his skill set, or we haven't seen it thus far. So if it goes to the ground, I even give O'Malley the edge in jiu-jitsu. Wrestling is the only thing that I'm really giving Merab an advantage in, and I think it's more cardio-based. Now, like I said earlier, Merab gets tagged, and we're going to go through a little video montage that I put together on my Instagram just to show you examples. Henry Cejudo, shorter guy, tags him with left hook, tags Merab. Merab is willing to go in and engage in these situations too. Like, he wants to go in there and he wants to strike with you. Like, he will want to put on a show for the crowd. He's talked about wanting to put on a show for the crowd, and that makes me think he's going to stand and strike with O'Malley. Nobody thinks that that's a good idea. You should not be standing and striking with O'Malley, because he's going to put anyone out that tries to do it. Merab, also fighting Marlon Moraes. This, by the way, is one of the better fights that I have had the privilege of watching in terms of a 3-round fight. It was a lot of fun for however long it lasted. But watch what Marlon Moraes does here. Lands the hook. Relentless attempt at a finish. Lands the hook. Hits him again. Lands the hook again. This left hook is wide open on Merab. So I do think O'Malley can land this. But if I'm being honest, I don't think it's going to be that punch that's going to put Merab down. I think that O'Malley is going to play with the range, and I think he's going to be able to use the range to his advantage using his feints to make Merab bite on everything and then end up feinting an uppercut like he did against Eddie Wineland and throwing the right hand over the top to knock out Merab. That's what I see it happening, and I think it's going to be one of these knockouts that I think Merab's going out flush. Even if he doesn't go out flush, if he gets knocked down and O'Malley lands a few shots of ground and pound, the UFC want O'Malley to win. Plain and simple, they would much rather O'Malley as their bantamweight champion, their star, promoting him for fights going forward. So I can see the UFC trying to call a fight a little bit early, kind of like they did with Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka, based off the fact that they would rather Sean O'Malley a champion. Can totally see an early stoppage going O'Malley's way. O'Malley can outstrike and outdamage Merab. And this could be one of those fights where if it goes to the judges' scorecards and Merab doesn't just ragdoll O'Malley for 5 rounds, they can give O'Malley the fight based off of damage. So I think O'Malley would win a decision that might not go his way in most people's eyes. So I can see it going to O'Malley there. I can see him also just winning it off damage. Like, I can see there being a number of different scenarios in which O'Malley wins this, whether it be an early stoppage, a robbery decision, actual better striking on the feet, actually being able to land more damage and getting a correct decision going his way. I just think he has more ways to win here. I think, again, those feints are going to get Merab questioning and get him frustrated where he's going to go in recklessly and get tagged by O'Malley. And I think Merab is also going to try and hype up the crowd and strike, which is going to be in favor of O'Malley. The longer that Merab's standing on the feet in front of O'Malley, the easier it's going to be for O'Malley to time and knock him out. So we see this video here of Merab getting teed off on. And I don't think it's going to be the left hook that ends up catching him. I think it's going to be the straight right in round 2 that hurts him bad and knocks him out. But, Moraes ends up finishing things up here. Another thing. That is a frozen lake with ice on the top of it. And that was Merab Dvalishvili jumping into the frozen lake face first. Some say that he saw a reflection of himself drowning and he was trying to save himself. He is that dumb. Don't get me wrong, he is that dumb of a human being. But this dude, I'm supposed to pick this guy that just dove face first into an ice pond trying to save his own life because he thought he was drowning. I'm supposed to pick him over O'Malley in a fight where IQ is going to play a factor? This guy's a dumbass, dude. Look at what he did. He dove in face first into a pond that is covered in ice, trying to save himself from drowning. Now, that part's obviously just me fucking around, but this is not a fake video. This is not AI generated. He dove in face first to a pond that is covered in ice, thinking that it'd be a dumb idea. Look at his reaction after he did it. Oh my god, that hurt. I just went face first into frozen water. That hurt. No shit. Now, I know I don't have the sound playing in this video, but he's calling himself stupid a ton of times in this video. He goes, stupid, idiot, stupid. Results of the cut, or results of the dive. He's bleeding all over the face, so he's got scar tissue now. This is another crazy one. Remember how I said Sean O'Malley's a sniper, and I think he's going to land that right hand a lot, and I think when he wants to land a shot, he's going to be able to, especially given that he's going to have Merab biting on all these different feints. He has a ton of different weapons that he can use. He has the reach, he has the power, and he has the sharpness in his hands and elbows to split people open and cause damage. So what does Merab do? Let's just play the video. That would be a cut right over the eye of Merab Dvalishvili that he posted about 3 weeks ago. That's probably healed by now, but will get opened up easy by it getting touched. O'Malley, when they're both standing orthodox, this is on the left side of Merab's eye. So O'Malley, a switch stance fighter, but primarily fights out of orthodox stance. Merab, an orthodox fighter that can't fight out of switch stance. So that part of the eye is showing right to O'Malley. O'Malley is going to be able to touch that part of the eye with the jab and split it open with the right hand, and I think he's going to do it in the first 2 minutes of the fight. That cut is in a really bad spot to bleed consistently, going into the eyes of Merab, making it so he can't see, and that cut is going to get bigger and bigger the more amount of times that O'Malley hits it. That's where O'Malley hits people in the face, but right here. He always catches them right here. So he's going to split that cut right open, and that's another scenario in which Merab is going to have to come over adversity from blood gushing into his eyes and having a massive cut that's going to get reopened. It's another piece of adversity he's just caught for himself. Now, why would you post a video like this showing it to O'Malley? Dana White freaked out about this. He goes, why would you ever post a video showing a true sniper in Sean O'Malley who can split that thing wide open, that you have a cut and there's a target for you to hit? Why would you ever do that? Idiot. Idiot. It's just a spot that O'Malley's going to snipe and tag and cut right open. Dumb. Dana White freaked out about it. Now, I think he also freaked out because the commission has the ability to look and say, you can't go into a fight with a cut like that. So I think he was upset and angry about that as well. But at the end of the day, Merab has the cut, he's going to go into the fight, and it's going to get cut right open. So there's another piece of adversity that he has to overcome. Dumb idiot. And the last thing that we want to talk about with Merab, that's his cut. About a week later, he's using massive, school edition scissors, and we're going to get to the staff in a minute. He's using school edition scissors to cut the stitches out of his eyes. Idiot. You're supposed to go in to see the doctor, have a professional do it with a specific pair of scissors to do it. This guy is so dumb. He is so dumb. I can't pick him to beat Sean O'Malley. Sean is a better striker than with him. He has great defensive grappling. He has better jiu-jitsu than Merab. And O'Malley, dude, this guy can train at a high cardio level. Like, this guy can have a ton of output, and he can win rounds over Merab. Even if Merab shoots a ton of takedowns, he's going to land the more damage in the fight. The last thing, Merab, a tremendous cardio fighter. See this? Zoomed in right here with terrible quality. That is what we would call staph infection. You know who we've seen have staph infection? Benoit Saint Denis, gassed out against Poirier. Islam Makhachev, cardio looked rough against Poirier. There are guys that keep getting staph infection and they keep looking bad in these fights. Now, granted, Islam Makhachev didn't look bad in his fight, but he should have beaten Dustin Poirier more dominantly. He's a much better fighter, and he would have been able to push a higher pace, I believe, if he didn't have staph infection and wasn't taking antibiotics to get rid of it. Merab's whole shtick, his whole thing about being able to make it to the title is his relentless pressure and cardio. Shooting 50 takedowns on Petr Yan, shooting 16 on Jose Aldo, even though he didn't get any. He made it so it absolutely stalled out Jose Aldo's offense, made Petr Yan not want to be there anymore because he was sick of defending takedowns the entire time, and makes everyone quit. That's his whole thing, is being able to outpressure you, outpace you, make you wilt, and make you break. And he's doing this to guys that don't have crazy reach over them, that don't use their feints that well, and that don't have the kind of one-punch knockout power that Sean O'Malley has, that don't have the kind of distance management and range control that Sean O'Malley has. Now he's going up against a Sean O'Malley, and he's going to have a damaged gas tank. He's taking antibiotics because he can't go into this fight with staph. So he's going to get rid of this staph infection. I'm sure it's gone by now, but he's been taking antibiotics. His body's feeling it, and his cardio is going to be what crumbles due to the antibiotics. So you're taking away his strongest attribute going into this fight, and that is his pace, his pressure, his cardio, because he has staph infection and has to take antibiotics. I can't take Merab Dvalishvili here. I just realized I wasn't showing you guys part of the staff. That's it. It's disgusting. I'm not taking Merab to win. I don't think he's going to win. I don't dislike Merab. I actually like Merab a lot. I think he's funny. I think he was terrible on the mic yesterday in terms of a press conference. I think he just is so dumb that he doesn't know when he needs to stop talking. Like O'Malley even said, like, next question in the middle of him talking because he was rambling on like he was Jared Cannonier at UFC 276. Thank God Ronaldo Rodriguez had a little bit of personality at that press conference, and I don't even think it was that crazy. It's like, he's just some dude that's trying to get hype behind his name, and good for him, because he stuck out the most of the press conference. We know O'Malley just doesn't have a history of being really good at these press conferences. He's a great fighter when he gets in there. He's great on Twitch. He's great on podcasts, but when it gets to those press conference interviews, he's just like, he's not a sharpshooter from the hip, you know what I mean? Merab is out there, and the UFC doesn't want him to win. Like, I'm going to go through everything one last time on why I don't think he's going to win. O'Malley's got the striking and range control, the best that we've seen in that division, maybe in the UFC, against Merab, who has terrible distance management and control. You have Merab, who has great wrestling, but good counter wrestling from O'Malley, better jiu-jitsu from O'Malley than there is Merab. Merab doesn't have the ability to submit on the ground. Merab has tremendous cardio, but he has staph infection that's going to wilt his cardio. You have Sean O'Malley, who the judges want to win if it goes to a judge's decision. The referee in the UFC want to win if there's a knockdown that the refs decide they want to call the fight early on. You have Dana White wants Sean O'Malley to win. You have this giant event that Dana's hyped up at the Sphere that's a letdown if Merab wins. So again, this is all leaning towards O'Malley to me. You have the cut on Merab's eye that O'Malley's going to split open, cause a bleed again in his eye, be big enough that it could end up getting the fight stopped. You have Merab, who is very, very hittable, and O'Malley is the best at finding the shot in the UFC. He's going to use his feints to make Merab bite. There is no world in which I can pick Merab to win this fight. Now, there is a chance that he can win, but gun to my head, I'm not picking Merab here. I can't pick Merab here. I don't have the confidence he's going to get it done. There's too much stacked up against him. Kudos to him if he does get it done. Then that is going to be an insane story. But I think it is written in the stars for a Sean O'Malley highlight reel. Round 2 KO, Sean O'Malley this weekend. Book it, lock it in. It's going to be the right hand over the top that lands after he's feinting that uppercut. That right hand is coming over the top, landing and putting Merab out. Maybe a little bit of an early stoppage, but I'm seeing Sean O'Malley getting it done, and I don't see how it goes another way. If you enjoyed the content, thank you for watching, and let's go Sugar Sean this weekend.